Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Tech Tip Tuesday. It is 2025. It is Wednesday, the 15th of January. I'm a day late getting this out, but welcome to 2025. I hope the year is off to an amazing start for you. So I'm your host, Kat Milner, the Chief Tech Ninja of Simplify Your Tech, as always. And today, I'm going to kick off with something a little bit different. Let's talk about live events. So many people are saying, oh, you have to do live events. Okay, why? Especially as a coach, why do you need to do live events? And what's the best way to do them? How often should you do them? What should you use to do them? We're going to cover all of that. And if I don't cover it here, it will definitely be in the blog, which will be linked to this video. So let's first talk about why you want to do a live event. The main reason is it builds trust and lets you actually develop relationships with people. It creates a more personal connection because they're getting to see you, hear you, see how you work, how you talk, what your vibe is, all of that. It creates immediate engagement. Okay, so hopefully you had a little bit of a giggle at me when I was like, hey, I'm a day late. But it really does create a personal connection. It's also probably the best way to really showcase your expertise. So let's say you're doing a live event and you want to demonstrate some of your coaching. Maybe you're a mindset coach. So you pick someone in the audience, the virtual audience, and you do a one-on-one short coaching session with them to demonstrate one of the techniques that you would probably use in your coaching. You don't give the store away, but it gives people a real feel for how you work, and it shows in a way that nothing else can that you really know your stuff. And I would suggest using something like Zoom, Teams, or Google Meet. I personally prefer Zoom because you can use all of those fun little interactive things, including polls, chats, Q&A options, and you have the option of breakout rooms if you want to send people away for a couple of minutes to have a little chat to say, hey, this is what I learned, or here's who I am and what I do and why I'm here. So you have a lot of options and flexibility with Zoom. And quite honestly, the subscription is not terribly expensive. So getting back to showcasing your expertise. Again, you can really show your skills in live time. You can say, okay, this is what I do. This is how I do it. So let me show you that. And coaching demos are incredibly powerful. Trust me, once people see the first one do it, everybody's going to want to do it if you do more than one. You can teach some concepts that can be used for a quick win. So you don't want to show them everything because obviously you want to have them come and pay you to learn what you do or to have the effect of your coaching, but you can give them some quick win things. So for example, if you are a mindset coach, you can teach them how to anchor a feeling so that when they go into a stressful situation like a job interview, they can fire off that anchor and have that confidence going into it. That's a great example of a coaching demo that you could actually do with the group, but especially with just one person so that they can really see how that back and forth works. When you show your stuff, it really sets you apart from your competition because even though there are other people who do what you do, no one does it exactly the way that you do. Using things like PowerPoint, Canva, Google Slides, they integrate seamlessly with these presentation software so that you can create slides that show things. And one thing I do want to talk about that is you don't want your entire presentation to be just the slide. And you don't want everything you're telling them on the slide, because if you're just going to read the slide, you might as well just send them the slide deck and not be involved at all. So don't be afraid to turn off the presentation or the presentation of the slides and talk directly with people, and just put key points on those slides, maybe with some graphics to illustrate it, so that it's interesting to look at, but they're spending more time listening to you than they are trying to read. Because if they're reading the slide, they're not hearing what you're saying. Just a little tip from me to you. Record your presentations. You want to do this for a couple of reasons. One is so that you can see how you went and how your presentation looked and sounded, and if you are as professional as you want to be and to present. And second, when you record it, you can chop up that video and take out little parts of it and repurpose it for things like social media or advertising. You can do a whole lot with those videos. Now, promotion is key. If you don't tell them, they won't come. End of story. It's really that simple. So the first step is to know who you are targeting, and you want to really build up the anticipation. Use multiple platforms so that you're attracting a larger audience. For example, I am primarily on Facebook and LinkedIn, so that's where I really put my promotion. A little bit on Instagram, but not as much. But really build it up at least 2 weeks before. I wouldn't recommend doing a whole lot more than 2 weeks before, otherwise people are going to forget about it. But starting about 10 days to 2 weeks ahead of time, start really putting out that promotion. One of my colleagues she's a money mindset coach, has an event coming up, and she has done an absolutely phenomenal job of promoting her masterclass. She offers it at 3 times on different days to help people with, conflicting schedules, see if they can find a time that works for them. And she has been doing promotions, and it's not just, hey, come to my workshop, you're going to learn this. It's, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this workshop. This person attended last time, and this is what they learned, and this is the difference that it made for them. Or I can't wait to cover this and this with you. Have you been struggling with this? Oh my gosh, you got to come to the workshop. Or what are you struggling with? How are you feeling about this particular topic? Comment below. And she's generating a lot of interaction. That's actually how she got me to sign up for her workshop. She's like, well, how do you feel about money when this happens? And I commented because it was interesting. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, wow, you know what? We cover how to handle that and how to change that with your mindset in this webinar, this free webinar. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So make sure that you're posting, honestly, for the lead up at least twice a day. I know it seems like an awful lot, especially coming up with variations on the content, but you can use ChatGPT to come up with some different ideas and a mix of video and images and text and all of these different ideas. If you need help with kind of brainstorming that, let me know, reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help you with that. So the idea is let people know. Now, keep in mind that when you post, maybe 6% of the people who follow you will actually see your post. And maybe a third of them are your target audience for this event. So don't be afraid to really blast it, because the more you do and the more you put yourself out there, the better the result you're going to get. You can also use multiple platforms. Like I said, I usually use Facebook and Instagram, but you can also use targeted email campaigns. So you need to get really clear on who your target audience is for this and really hone in on that. Once they register, make sure you set up regular emails, even text messages if you have that capability, to remind them. So if they register 2 weeks ahead of time, a couple of days, they're going to get the confirmation, hey, I'm so glad you registered for this. A couple of days later, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see you. It's going to be epic. Maybe a couple of days after that, still really excited, can't wait to see you. And then once you're about 5 days out, you're going to want it to be daily. And the day before, you're probably going to send a couple. The day of, you're probably going to send 3 or 4. Can't wait to see you tonight. Couple of hours until we're ready to go live. We're starting in an hour. We start in 15 minutes. The doors are now open, and here's the link. So you want to make sure that because people need, on average, 7 touch points. to actually show up to an event. Minimum. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're reminding them and keeping this top of mind, and doing it in a way that's going to get them really excited about it, not just, hey, don't forget the webinar is coming up in an hour. No, it's like, oh my God, I cannot wait to share the information with you. I'm so excited. Let's get you there. You need this. So definitely make sure you really follow up with them. And automating that is the best way to make sure that you don't miss anything. So using an email automation, best thing you can do. Same with your social media. We've already talked about building that engagement, posting at least twice a day in the lead up to it. And also, and this is key, and you want to do this at least at least 3 to 4 weeks minimum before the event launch, is build your landing page. Make sure that you have a high converting funnel set up so that when you do promote it, you have somewhere to send them to register. And it's exciting, it's fun, you can set up some interaction for it, but make sure that you set it up so that when they register, they automatically get into that nurture and reminder sequence. It's really easy to do. It does take a bit of work. And if you have any questions on that, please reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you about how to set that up. So live events build your community. They create your sphere of influence, and they get more people into your world. I've actually had people in my events that became friends, and I know that to this day, like 3 years on, they're still in contact with each other and helping support each other in their business. So that does happen. Encourage people who are already clients to come and support your events, because as you do that, people who have been here before, they've been around for a while, they know that how awesome you are and how you work. When there are people who are on the fence about it, and you have somebody in the audience that's dropping into the chat, oh my gosh, I worked with Karen, she was amazing because I had this result, I had this issue, I got this result, and she did it so fast and easy that it didn't even feel like coaching. You're going to start getting comments like that are saying, oh, you have to work with her. It's the best investment you'll ever make. It's the best thing you can ever do for yourself. And that can only come from people who have had that experience with you. So the more you encourage your current community to come, the more they're going to really enjoy that. Creating community also creates referrals. Having those super fans in your audience make them think, oh, wow, I forgot, I know this other person who could really benefit from this, and they're going to start referring to you. And it's amazing. It is like the biggest compliment to have a word of mouth referrer. And having a community platform, something like, for example, Simplify Your Tech has a thing called communities within our community. And it's basically, if you've ever been in a Facebook group, which you probably have, or you've ever been in a community, for example, like on the Circle platform, it's like that, but without all the other stress. So it's without the Facebook stress and restrictions, and without the extra cost of something like Circle. If you're interested in building a community like that, where you can have people in the group together, you can link it to an online course, and you want to be able to have them message each other back and forth, there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. Reach out to me. Again, happy to show you how you can do that. Create urgency. We all know FOMO, that fear of missing out. That is a powerful motivator. It's huge, actually. If people see the value and there's a limited time on it, they're going to want to take action. It gets them off the fence and saying, yes, I want this. So you need to make things time sensitive. You can have exclusive offers that are only to the attendees on the call. You drop the link, and if they register within an hour of the call, they'll get the bonuses if they're still available. Sometimes people will say, okay, I've only got 10 of these. As soon as they're gone, they're gone. And as soon as they're gone, when they go to try and click on it, it'll go to a page, sorry, you can't get that anymore. However, I can't offer you this kind of thing. So you want to make sure that they understand that if they don't take action now, then it's not going to happen. You can also build some momentum and anticipation for the next event, where it's like, okay, I'm sorry you missed out on it this time, but I do have another event coming up in 3 weeks' time. Register for that now, and we'll see what we can do for you. And if they miss the fast action taker bonus this time, they might go, oh, okay, so if I go next time, then I will definitely get that. So we can start to create that kind of momentum. Countdown timers can make a huge difference. I've been using this on one of my events, and people are like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that this is happening. And it's really exciting. So it creates that sense of urgency and, oh, I really need to get to do this. Ticketing systems, things like Eventbrite, Humanitix, even Zoom itself have registration so that you can easily follow up with attendees and know who registered and didn't attend, so you can follow up with them too. Because that way you can say, oh, I'm sorry that you missed it. It was a live only event, so there is no replay. However, there is another event, or if you would like to talk to me about whatever it was I was talking about, you can set up a discovery call. So there are ways to work with that as well. And because you are in a conversation and you are showing your skills, when you get to the pitch part of your presentation, it becomes a soft sell. It doesn't have to be, that feeling of like you used car salesman where it's like this really heavy push. Do it now, do it now, do it now. It was like, no, you've already seen the value of what I offer. I do amazing work. If you want it, if it's for you, if you're the person who wants this, this, and this, and you're not this, this, and this, and you want to have these effects in your life or your business, then book now. Here's the service. Here's how long here's the program. Here's the 8-week program. This is how much it costs. Payment plans are available. I'd love to see you in the community. That's all there is to it. And you have more credibility because you get time to show that value before you get to the pitch. And I know the pitch can be really scary because you're like, I'm asking for money. It's okay. People come into these things knowing that there is going to be a pitch involved. It's natural. And you can even joke about it if you want. When you get to that point, it's like, okay, now I know that you came in here expecting this really hard sales pitch, but you know what? Yeah, I'm going to share with you my offer. I'm really excited to share my offer with you because it contains so much value. Here's the value that it contains. I know you understand that this is an amazing deal. I hope you'll join me inside. It doesn't have to be really full on. It's it's kind of awesome that way. That is the joy of live events, is that you don't have to feel like you're being pushy or salesy. You can offer those action taker bonuses and discounts only for those on the live call. Only for those on the live call. So, for example, when I do my live events, if they decide to join my community, one of the bonuses that they get is a one-on-one with me for 60 minutes to be able to ask me anything, have me show them anything that they need. And that's usually at least a $300 value to get access to me like that. So there are things that you can do. It can be an extra giveaway. It can be an ebook. It can be an extra session with you, whatever you want to make that. But it's only available to the people on the call. And how often should you do them? When you're first starting out, I would say maybe do it monthly, because that will keep you visible. It will keep people engaged with you, and you're not going to feel overwhelmed. If you do have a community of people that you can go live in, for example, like I'm doing here, you can do them weekly. As you've seen with me, they don't always have to be super long. And it keeps your community engaged and up to date with what's going on. If you're going to do them quarterly, I would suggest rather than just a client attraction event, that you do like a master class, a deep dive, that kind of thing. And throughout the year, you can sprinkle special events like a new product launch, celebrating a milestone, whatever you want. It's awesome. So my suggestion is to start small so you don't get overwhelmed. Get a feel for how to do it, maybe a monthly webinar or workshop, and then scale that as you become more comfortable both with presenting and with the technology that you're using. If you have a friend that is willing to help you, I would highly suggest having them jump on and run the tech part of it for you so that you can really focus on that connection with your audience. And combining that personal touch of live demonstrations with your technology is an absolutely winning formula. So I'm going to drop the link to the blog that goes into more detail and also has an FAQ. So if you do have any other questions, please have a look at that. And as always, if you would ever have some questions or like a little bit of support, definitely please feel free to reach out. I would love to have a conversation with you. So happy 2025. I am ecstatic to launch into this year with you. I hope it brings wonderful results for you and that you have an absolutely fantastic year. See you next time.